Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1102. How you like this one? Instant writing that sounds like you. And wow, I'll tell you, I wrote a book in 1 hour with this. All right, hope you didn't miss episode 1101. That was one of our many phone tip episodes where you got the phone is in your hand all day long. You got, if you use some of these tips, I probably have 20 episodes on phone tips that are really, really helpful. Just go to screwthecommute.com/training and hit Control F or Command F and put in phone, and you'll hit all the episodes that have the phone tips. They usually have 2 or 3 or 4 tips, but I've picked ones that can really, really help you go faster on the phone. All right, pick up a copy of my automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Version 3.0 is the latest. And check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet and digital marketing. And if you're in it, you get a scholarship to my school that you can either use for extra training or gift to someone, and it would be the best legacy gift you could ever give somebody. That's at imtcva.org, certified to operate by Chev. All right, let's talk about, I wanted to bring, part of my job is to bring you up on current events here. So I got those of you that have been around for a while. Do you remember the craze of people taking pictures on social media with what they call duck face? They would purse their lips like a duck. All right. That went on for 14 years, folks. It peaked around 2014 and then faded away. Well, now the latest one that is peaking now is called the Gen Z Pout, P-O-U-T. It kind of appeared around 2022, and it's happened to be peaking right now. And it's the ugliest thing. You take some of the best-looking girls and make them look ugly. This is, I don't know why they're doing this, but just Google and then look at images for Gen Z Pout. You'll see it. All right, so there's my duty of bringing you up to current events. All right, so I made a mistake on those of you that remember, I just did a master class for a big summit on hacks for AI. And in it, I incorrectly said that I probably wouldn't be using Custom GPTs because it takes geek work. Well, I was wrong about that. And I'm always happy to say if I'm wrong and correct it, because now I am using Custom GPTs. And I'm going to tell you, no, you don't need a geek to do it. I'm going to give you pretty much all the basics you need to use it and what it did for me. All right. And so the end product here is a book was written in my voice, 100% in my voice, not looks AI generated, and 17 chapters were written in about an hour. Okay. Now, it was based on the notes from my masterclass, so it can be based on things that you've already done. All right. So in my masterclass, I had all these notes, and I had probably 75 different hacks for prompting and all kinds of stuff showing you how to do it. The first thing I did was I uploaded those notes to ChatGPT. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about making a book out of these. Could you rearrange these and organize everything into chapters? And so it did. It came out with 17 chapters, all better organized than I had my notes. All right, so that's the first thing. And then I wanted it to write the book, but I learned that you shouldn't ask one of these things to write a whole book because something happens, what is called drift. In other words, it's going to just start getting off and not sounding like you and so forth over the course of time. So you do it one chapter at a time. But how do you make it sound like you in the first place? So what I did is I uploaded a bunch of my other writings, and I said, I want you to come up with I believe it's called voice style, or it's just my style of writing. Even if it was emails or ebooks or whatever it is, even though they're different types of writing, I still have a particular style that it noticed about me. And so it came out and gave me what we called a voice style. So I copied that and saved that somewhere. And then I put it into my Custom GPT for book writing. I ended up with 4 of them. I had a Custom GPT for book writing, for email writing, for YouTube scripts, and blog writing, 4 different ones. But all of them had this voice style in the custom instructions. Basically, you go to ChatGPT on the left, it'll have GPTs, and then you can go new GPT, give it a name, and basically I had named a book style, blog style, email style, and the other one I told you. But each one of them in the custom instructions had this voice style of mine. So no matter what kind of writing it was going to have my style. But then for each type of writing, I just uploaded specific things about my email writing style. I uploaded a bunch of emails and say, okay, specifically for emails, what should my prompt be to write an email? And specifically for blog posting. So I uploaded blog postings, and it pulled my style of blog postings, and that went in the Custom GPT for blogs and YouTube scripts and so forth, see? But I'm going to stick with the book one for now, because that's the one that's closest to being the finished product ready for sale. So after I got this Custom GPT going, I had it create me a prompt to write chapter 1 of the book based on the 17 outline chapters that it had figured out previously. So I uploaded the 17 chapters, and then I said, I'm going to give you the exact prompt that I gave it. I'm going to say, write chapter 1 using proper paragraph flow and natural book formatting while maintaining my conversational tone. And get me to 0 AI generated looking text. And do not put in white horizontal divider lines, which sometimes it does. So that was my prompt for each chapter. Remember, I said you do it one chapter at a time so it doesn't drift off of the instructions. So each time I would just change that exact prompt to chapter 2 or chapter 3, chapter 4, all the way to chapter 17. Plus, I had to change it at the end because the outline gave me a conclusion and an introduction. So I had it for actually 17 chapters, an introduction and a conclusion. So I went one by one and said, hey, do this, and it zapped out the chapter. Okay. Now, did I use it as is? Heck no. This kind of reminds me, if you've seen my stuff on private label rights or white labeling, where I would buy an ebook that was pre-written, and then I would adjust it with my stories and my, stuff that was terrible I threw out, stuff that it didn't think of I put in. And so this is a fancier version of that, or a more modern version of that, where it slammed out all this text in my style of writing. And I checked each one of them in this thing called Quillbot, Quillbot. And there's loads of these. These are AI detector programs. So if you don't want Quillbot and you happen to use another one, great, who cares? So out of 17 chapters, let's see, 14 of them had 100% human written text, and I didn't write a word of it. Okay. with the proper prompts and my voice style and all that, all the instructions I gave it to what not to use, don't use phraseology. And I did this in previous episodes here of how to tell it not to look like AI. And those prompts are in previous episodes. But anyway, 14 of them were 100% human written. 2 of them were 98%, and 1 of them was 95%. Now, here's the thing. I could have gotten them all to 100%, but it was getting monotonous to have it redo like the 98% one. And I had another prompt where I said, rewrite this chapter and absolutely make sure it does not look AI generated according to the rules I've given you. And then it would come back 100%. But I just got sick of it after 14 chapters, and I just took the 98% and the 95% for the last 2 chapters. So I have a book with an introduction, 17 chapters, a conclusion, and all I have to do is go through it and add graphics that I had already done for the master class. There already exists. I just have to plop them into the book. I got to make a book cover, which took 30 seconds. If you saw the master class, it took 30 seconds and 3 cents to make a book cover. And I'm putting it into a Word document. And then I convert it to PDF, and now I have a saleable product. Now, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to send it into Lovable, and I'm going to make an AI agent out of it so that you can ask questions to this agent, and it'll refer to my book and give you the answers. So that's just a whole new world out there, folks. So that's pretty much what happens. And again, I'm sure I'll throw in my stories as I read through the book. And if there's something I don't agree with, I'll delete it. I really will make it mine. Even though it says it's 100% human written, I want it to be, people think of me when they, that's Tom writing this book. Okay. But anyway, that's using a custom GPT for instant writing that sounds like you. Wasn't that hard, folks. It's just some busy work getting ChatGPT to tell me what it needed to put in these custom GPTs, and evaluated my style, my writing techniques, and all the things I told it not to do so that it doesn't look like AI. And then, like I said, I double checked it in Quillbot, and right off the bat, most of them were 100% human written. There was no indication that there was any AI in it. So just amazing world we're in here, folks. And if you'd like help with all this and the million other things it takes to be successful online, check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my school, imtcva.org, certified to operate by Chev, the State Council on Higher Education in Virginia. But you don't have to be in Virginia because it's quality distance learning. All right, go out and use AI to write those books. And when you have your next picture taken, use that Gen Z pout. All right, catch you later.